Welcome to the Tagman channel. Working on this old Junkyard Caddy. And I got a big old dent right here in the hood of the car. I also have some other issues going on that'll have to be addressed, but I think I want to take care of this dent first. Now, I've already pounded on it some, but I went ahead and took a hole saw. No one will ever notice I cut a hole there in that interweb. And that got me to the bottom of this dent. Now, this is the top of the dent, and now I've got it to a point where I can go up and under, and I can push on it. Now I've got a pop dent. What do I do with this? I hate pop dents. I think what happened is this metal here is stretched, so it's pushing out into this area and creating that. It's like, you know, an oil can dent, I guess you would call it. So, how do I fix that? There's a couple little dings here. You can see them. Now, what I was thinking about doing was taking these tools right here. I got that tire iron. I know, and I got that masonry hammer. Two things you're never supposed to use in automotive bodywork. But anyway, I was thinking about hitting it from the bottom here, maybe fixing that dent a little bit more. Now that this is up, and maybe it'll keep it up. I don't know. So I'm gonna give it a whack. Let's see what happens. This thing's built like a tank. Push it up some. I'm gonna try it again. Now what I'm doing is I'm placing that where I want it. I'm placing the end of this where I want it, but when I whack, I'm watching the business end so I don't miss. Keep your eye on the ball. It's right where I want it this time. I just watched it and still glanced off. Now, I'm looking at this and I don't know, it's looking kind of ugly really. The pop dent's kind of gone. But now this is all kind of beat up. How do I fix that? Yeah, that actually looks much better. A little low right here, but it won't do the oil can thing anymore. But it looks like I gotta push it up a little there. That looks pretty good. If I'll be able to show you, look right across this. The shine's kind of goofing with us. Yeah, that's definitely a dent right there. It's still low. I don't think I want to fill that all. That's a lot of fill. This side feels good. This side, a little bit low right there. That I can tell it's high here. And this, right here where I've been hitting on it, is just a little bit high. You can see it. So I think what I got to do is get something flat underneath it and then tap this back down. Try to get that shaped up better. Right on that body line, that's ugly. So we got to fix it. It's looking much better now. I've got it, so the oil can's gone. Never mind. Okay, I just had to regroup for a second. So anyway, it's still doing the oil can thing, but I'm still at the point where, now it does oil can, and when I push it up, you'll see it ripples way back in here. It's shoving it. So I don't know how to do it other than maybe oil can's up, it's too high, oil can down is too low, but I'm probably better off just filling it at this point because I can't get behind it. I got this, so it's all gonna be sub. So if I grind this all off, Dynaglass it up good, it'll probably be a 1/4 inch thick, maybe a little less than a 1/4 inch, which means we're legal for Dynaglass, 1/4 inch. I think that'll hold it. That'll probably be my best way. Either that or I'm thinking I gotta cut a strip in it, pull it together that way, which, man, I can wind up with one heck of a mess on my hands. So anyway, I'm gonna go on to other things. It's not like I don't have enough stuff to do. I'm still working on tuning up these a little bit, but I got those pretty good. Now I'm working my way back and gonna try to get these evened up. Now this fender looks pretty good through here, but I get up here, that's way high. I have no idea why that is. I don't know if I'll be able to shove it back down. I don't know if, maybe what I gotta do is take a bolt out of the bottom and get more shims in and tug that fender back down because that's really quite severe. You can see it. That really does not match at all. So I probably should put it down on wheels when I do that so things go back to where they're normal. I'm gonna grind this thing all off, get this cleaned down, the bare metal where I can get the putty in here. I'm seeing a little dent here. I'm noticing a dent here too. So I'm gonna work on all that. Gotta make sure I'm not heating the panel too much too. So now this pad, these don't last as long as you'd like them to, that's for darn sure. Right on the outer edge, it's getting gummed up, so it's not cutting good. I'll probably use the smaller grinder I have to clean those out. But in the meantime, I'm gonna finish cutting this out. Wow, that's a lot of grinding. Okay, so I got one more little dent over here I saw. I'll get that cleaned out with the little grinder too. All right, got the little grinder out. This wheel's not real great either, but I think I'll get a little use out of it. No, let's get rid of this. Well, that thing's about beat, so time for a new one, but right now I could work on that, I think. As I'm looking over this hood, I'm noticing some real trouble spots. I got rust here, surface rust, and I'm looking over it, and I'm noticing little spots like this where it bled through the paint. Now it's rusty, little rust spot there, little rust spot there. I don't know about the whole thing, so I'm starting to think I gotta strip the whole hood. Of course, probably should strip the whole car, but I ain't doing all that. But I think I'm gonna have to do something, sand this hood down really, well, just like I knew it on the roof. Bring it right down to a level I can make sure I know it's gonna be decent underneath it. Which leads me to this thing. How am I gonna get this thing off? I think it's just pinched on there. I don't feel any screws on the bottom side, so let's see if I can get it off without mangling it. So the question now is, what tool do I use? Big gnarly screwdriver, metal putty spreader, 5-1 tool, putty knife, old piece of crap, but I think it might work for this. Let's see what happens. I'm a little scared. I don't mind admitting it. Looks like something I'm gonna have to work around. Oh boy. Oh boy. Going to something a little stiffer. See if I could just catch the edge of it without dinging it. Oh yeah, it's moving. This might take a while. Oop. Well, it didn't hurt it. Boy, it is pretty tight on there though. So that just put this back down on. So it's kind of a pinched on thing there. I can get under it with this maybe and shove it up and off. If I have a viewer out there that's done this before, he's probably screaming at his TV right now. I'll just wreck that. I don't know, I'm gonna have to think about this a little bit. Maybe I gotta use this and actually put a little more force on it. Well, I know one thing, it's a lot like, you know what, when I used to cut stone back in the old days, flagstone. When you're lifting it, you don't pry in where it's loose. You have to move it where it's tight, and it's moving it. My golly, it looks like the old screwdriver is the best tool. Next question is, how am I going to put it back on? Well guys, I think I'm gonna go to the other side, but I gotta be careful. I don't want to, I could kink it right in the middle if I'm not careful. Yeah, but that's what I got to do. If I don't hit it hard enough, it just doesn't move at all. I'm gonna hit it over here too. I got a... Whoa! Would you look at that? One good hit and the whole thing's off. Look at that. It's a beautiful piece of chrome. Got a notch here that matches the notch here that centers you up. All I gotta do now is save it without destroying it. Beautiful.